The Joe Rogan Experience.
So the Derek Brunson fight, which is coming up soon, what are your thoughts on Derek Brunson? I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but he's obviously a veteran. He's obviously a guy who's been around, who's fought Stylebender. He's the Shabazian fight, his last fight. I thought he looked fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And Shabazian, that was an interesting situation, right? You got this kid who's 21 years old, super dangerous, real fast hands, looked great, but never really been tested against like a veteran. And then you saw wasn't really ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Brunson's good. His wrestling's good. His stand-up's a little wild. He hits hard. It's like it's going to be a fun fight, but it's like, the problem is it's like when he gets in there with the top level guys, he hasn't had a lot of success, and we're just going to find out if Kevin's is top level as I think he is. It's like
You seen the Django?
Yeah.
Yes.
That part where he goes, rude boy, there's only 1 out of 10,000 niggas, and you that 1 out of 10,000. I'm that 1 out of 10,000. We're gonna find out,
It's closer to like 1 in a million. It's it's just different.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is like a pivotal moment in your career?
It can be. It very much can be. But me and Derek Brunson, we have a lot of words back and forth. Yeah. So it's gonna be
Kevin
a night.
fucks with Derek Brunson constantly. It's like, but Kevin does this to everybody.
He started
in
me
everybody's.
first.
He started with you?
He's in Stylebender's inbox. He's in everybody's inbox. And he's fucking
Do you DM
personal
these guys?
message. Yeah, all the time.
Do they go back and forth? with
Oh
you?
yeah,
Some of them do.
all the time.
Really?
Derek does.
Some of them are
Derek
nice.
does.
Who goes back and forth with you?
Mike Perry's nice enough to go back and forth with me.
Does he?
I like that guy. He does. He's fun to
But he
play
fucks with him. He fucks with him.
And then, Brunson started it, though. He told me he was going to slam me on my head, so fuck him. And then, it's just, there's a few of them.
That was what he opened with?
Yeah.
I'm going to slam you on your head?
Yeah. Chimaev doesn't go back and forth with me, so that
No?
that
How
hurts
come?
my feelings. I don't know. He says he's about that life. That kid ain't about that life. I seen him at the PI. And I walked in. I was like, that's my best friend. He was like, you want to be friends now? I was like, fuck no. I was like, never. I was like, we're best friends without being friends. They were like, Kevin, there was a lot of them. They were going to jump you. And I was like, no. I drove out here. I got dildos in the car. I was ready to fuck them, So that boy's not about that life.
Don't you think that, I mean, it's very unfortunate that he's suffering from COVID, that he's got this long-term situation where apparently when I've talked to doctors about this, I'm like, what is going on with that? And they said when you're training really hard and then you're breaking down your immune system and then you get COVID, you can get it real bad. Yeah. And when you get it really bad and then you don't take care of yourself in terms of like don't give yourself adequate time to recover, you go back in before you're really fully recovered, and also you're not taking care of all the inflammation issues that you have with your diet and with your supplements.
Yeah.
You hit a situation like him where he had to pull out the Leon Edwards fight. Imagine being fucking Leon Edwards. One of the best fighters in the world, can't get a fight.
Yeah,
he's fighting Bilal.
Finally,
Yeah.
Bilal steps up right after winning.
I offered to step up the last time. I offered to cut the extra weight.
Kevin was in
It's
there.
like-
Inboxes again. Fucking, hey, I'll fight him.
I
It's like-
inbox Leon plenty of times. He doesn't respond. And then the thing about it is, a lot of these guys can say before that I didn't have the followers, so they didn't see the message. Now I have the followers, so you're seeing the fucking message. You're just choosing not to respond. You know what I mean? It's like if we're being real here, these guys, half these guys who claim that they're fighters because it pays a bill and it looks good online. It looks good on TV.
Is that the case, or are they being calculated about what risks they take?
You're not a fighter if you're calculating risk.
Really, though? Do you think that's true? I mean, if you're a first-year fighter.
But
They're
he's
martial
talking
artists.
about other
They're
kinds of
martial artists.
fighting. He's
They're
talking about
martial
other
artists.
kinds of fighting.
I
He's
know.
talking about life, and it's like he's not talking about his career right now. He's
Right.
talking about and
The mindset,
for Kevin,
warrior
all
mindset.
that stuff kind of melts together a little bit.
Gotta
It's
be a
like
warrior.
it's like he's not necessarily saying that. Yeah, these guys are for sure fighters, but they're not real fighters in Kevin's mind.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. They won't, it's like I get happy when I see these guys step up last second for a fight. Like seeing Bilal step up for that fight, I'm like, okay, there you go. Don't fucking complain about how you're not getting upper fights when you don't really put yourself in that situation to get upper fights.
When Chimaev knocked out Mearshart, I was like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
he knocked him out with one punch. I'm like, okay, now I want to see. If he can do that, I want to see, like, how does he fare against a guy like you? How does he fare against other, like, elite 170 or 185ers, which is weird, too, right? That he's just bouncing back and forth between those two weight classes.
He's bouncing back and forth to the fights that make the most sense. So he'll go to 70 for a fight that makes sense. He'll come back up to 85 for a fight that makes sense. Nothing wrong with it. Good management. Fighters who fight like that, very smart fighters. I tip my hat off to them. Them and their management and their coaches, that's great. that's not me. I'd never be that. So props to those guys, but it's like, if, you go to 70 because this fight makes sense for you, smart move. You go back to 85 because this fight makes sense to you, smart move. I was impressed by the way he knocked out Meerschaert just because he took the smartest route, which was keeping it standing. And I thought the guy who liked to grapple was going to take it to the ground, But knocking out Meerschaert after Meerschaert's coming off of losses, you know what I mean? And I know I smacked him a couple times. I know Deron Wynn smacked him a couple times, you know what I mean? And I know Ian Heinrich ultimately landed the last smacking. And I think if you add up those three people who have decent power and have been smacking him at 85, the head's just not the same as it used to be. He's even fought Thiago Santos, right? Yeah. It's like you can't fight all these killers and take these type of headshots and think that you're going to be okay. If Chimaev has a little bit of pop, of course it's going to look good. I mean, smart. Props to him for taking the smart program every time you go out there and fight a guy. It's like we both fought John Phillips. I went out there and stood and banged with John Phillips. Coach told me in the second round, go out. Okay, you already look good in the first round. Go out there in the second round, take this guy down, choke him out. He's obviously not trying to go away from punches. Chimaev went out there, took him down, punched on him, subbed on him. Smart fighter. Props to him. But what happens when you can't go out there and take an easy, smart route? What happens when a fighter's really fucking good? That's why I wanted to, like you said, I wanted to see the Leon fight. I want to see tough competition.
That fight bad. I was fascinated by that fight.
I would have took the Neil Magny fight. Him versus Neil Magny would have been. I would have been happy with that. You can slowly work your way up. I think it's like after seeing Neil Magny being done the way he got done against Michael Chiesa, I think that Chimaev could have got the job done, especially being a big 170er. But it's like, I don't know. And then you sit up here and you say it's sad because he has COVID and shit like that. But they said I had COVID, and if we're supposed to be athletes, it's like get the fuck over it.
Yeah, but you obviously had a very mild. Version of it. I mean, he's had it for
my
months.
girl had it pretty
months
good.
And months now.
My girl had it pretty good, and I was fucking her the whole time. And it's like it's like it's like we all take it different. Different fighters, different heart. Don't claim to have that heart if you ain't got it.
Don't you think it's just like a disease, though? I mean, some
shit,
people just have a harder time with a disease.
The flu sucks. Michael Jordan still went out there and won. It's difference.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer that we don't get it because it was so exciting. You watch him; he's fighting back to back. He's trying to fight. He's scheduling 2 fights at the same time. He's,
Yeah, I'm just sad because I really wanted to see the guy fight again.
Yeah,
just sad.
Also,
Sorry,
you
guys.
wanted to fight him.
No, not me. I don't want to fight that guy. He's a monster, bro. He's undefeated, smashing everybody. He's mini Khabib. I don't want no problems with that guy.
That's not true. He was fucking with him the whole goddamn time over there.
Yeah, you were asking for it when I interviewed you.
Yeah, I'd love it. I love it. I'd take it.
Well, they had Kevin Edwards with him too. It's like Kevin Edwards with him, and then he said something to Kevin, pissed Kevin off, and then Kevin's angry.
But the boss has said on interview that we're in 2 different weight classes, and that we'd probably never meet up. So I'm assuming that he's staying at 70 and I'm staying at 85, and it's like maybe one day when he gets over being a little tired, he can get back in there and get some fights in, and we'll be okay.
Catch new episodes of The Joe Rogan Experience for free only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data cost, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.